everyone, welcome to another Zwift race analysis video. This is the Oh My Crit double race 1 out of 2. I actually did this race in A earlier in the day, so it's technically 2 out of 2. And as you probably read in the title, this was an epic fail, and you're about to see why. Okay, so here we are. We're about to start the 4th lap of Volcano Circuit, a pretty commonly used route for races. And it has one major part, which is the short, steep climb. And then right after that, there's another little kicker after it. So that is one part that I am watching out for. And it's a very small race, only 11 riders, and these riders are doing quite a few attacks. So it was actually a pretty interesting race, but at the same time, kind of boring. Okay, so here we are coming into the last lap of the race. Each lap is 2.5 miles, so right here I am making my way through the group. There's one rider off the front, and we're thinking that we're going to pull him back, but my legs are pretty tired from the previous race, so I wasn't planning on doing anything. I was just planning to sit in, then see if I could maybe do a breakaway or do something in the finishing sprint. The gap started to open up here to around 3 seconds, and now getting to around 4 seconds. But no one really bothered to chase since it's a small race. This often happens, and the rider who goes off the front ends up winning the race. Coming down this short bit, I was pretty sure that we were going to gain some time on the other rider who is off the front, and we did gain around 1 second, but I still wanted to be sure, so I went to the front and I took a short pull to see if I could help close the gap a bit, and it did help. So right here you can see that the RWB rider sprints right out off the front, and he is flying. So this is when I start to sprint too, because I know that if I don't, he's going to be long gone and there's no chance of winning the race. I was actually kind of off the back, so I had to do a pretty big sprint to get past the rest of the riders, and the RWB rider already had 3 seconds on the rest of the group, which is pretty big considering that he had just started his attack a few seconds ago. So kudos to him because he's an extremely strong rider. Okay, here you can see that the RWB rider is still off the front. The main group has kind of come back together. And this part is very painful because it is another short steep bit, and we just did a pretty big sprint earlier on. The gap is kind of closing. There are 2 riders off the front, R, Fine, and the RWB rider. So now another rider goes off the front. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his name, so I won't try. So here you can see that I'm in a small group of 3, and this is when the race comes back together and we are back as one happy blob. Right here, once the group came back together and riders started to ease off, I got kind of bored. So I decided maybe I would actually try something. Maybe I'd try a small attack, not an all-out sprint, but a subtle attack to see if I could try and get away and separate the group. So in a few seconds, you are going to see me go off the front, and right here is when I start to move to the front of the group, and then I'm getting ready now, and this is when I make my move. I start as like around 6 watts per kick. No one is really chasing. P. Neely is kind of chasing, but not really. The rest of the riders are chilling, and this is when the RWB rider comes to the front too. So I'm going to change camera angles here real quick, just so I can see how big of a gap I actually have on the group, and it's really not much if you look from that angle. I continue to keep the pressure on just to see if I could drop a few more riders, but it didn't really work. At this point, I'd kind of given up. My legs didn't have much left for a sprint, so I was just chilling, and I was just going to see but I could maybe pull something off. So right here, a rider is about to go straight out the front and go all the way for the win. The KST rider just starts sprinting, then another rider starts sprinting, and another one goes, and I am left here off the back pretty much. So here I do a small surge, but then I ease back off, waiting for this short little climb, and then this is when I actually start sprinting. It's not enough to get back to the front few riders, and I just end up giving up here because I have nothing left, and I'm just chilling now because I don't feel like pushing further. So you can see here that I am way off the back now. I end up coming in 7th, which is pretty bad compared to how I normally perform in these races, so I was kind of disappointed with my result. Ultimately, there wasn't much to lose, so it was an okay race. That's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching, and please do like, subscribe, and see you all in the next video. Ride on!